second video, and today we're going to do a mulberry fly. And let me see if I can get it up here on the camera a little bit. There we go. And this fly is known for catching some carp around where you have mulberry trees that drop the berries into the water. So it's a super simple, slightly tedious fly to tie. And the reason for it being tedious is that you have to put a bunch of beads on a piece of fishing line to get this thing to work. But first of all, materials to use. I bought these beads at Walmart. These glass seed beads, 40 grams, blah, 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 11-0. And they're tiny little things. They're just black and shiny. So they're like $1.95, $2. Then what I use is some, again, good old classic Walmart 4-pound monoline. And the monoline, I put a bunch of beads on a plate, and then I will thread one bead through, tie the one bead to the end, and then thread a bunch of beads through. I would say I'll probably do about four or 5 inches. You're better off doing a couple too many than not doing enough. I just string it on, you know, the line with the one tied in the bottom to hold them on. And then I have, you know, a bunch of line just so I don't drop it. So we'll get to that in a little bit. So that's what you need for that. Then a green rubber leg of some sort and some UV glue. I use a 140 thread, and on this fly, I'll be using a size 6 hook. I found that the size 6 works a little better than a size 8. And just because, let me see if I can toss this up like this, that when we're putting these beads on, the gap, there's just not, I don't feel like there's enough gap in between the beads and the actual point of the hook. On the 6, it's perfect. So I think you guys can see that there. So I recommend using a size 6, and the other one also just seems to be a little too small for the fly. Anyway, enough chatting. Let's get to tying. So I am not gonna do any editing in this video either. We'll just go right at it. I think you guys can see it pretty good. Let's get a little closer. And first up, just lay your thread base down. And I like to just go all the way down and all the way back up real quick. And cut that off. Then I'll lay in my rubber leg, and just about an inch, inch and a half. You can cut it later on, sticking out in the back, like so. Tie that down, untangle. Just make sure it's not moving around too much. Now toss that over to the side. Bring your thread up to the eye of the hook. What I do here is that I will, whoopsie, I will put in a whip finish. Wow. This is going real well. I'll put in a whip finish here so I can spin my vise without losing the thread. And I will just take that and create a bit of a thicker base. It might not be necessary, but I just feel like it's the bead sticks a little better to the rubber than they do to the normal thread. So I'll run that up, not too close to the eye because you want to be able to finish off there. And then I will run it back again. And this does not have to be all pretty because you're going to cover it up in a second with a bunch of beads. Run that up there, back again. Tie that off. And you can basically put a bunch of thread over it and cut it off. So let's tie that. Sorry, not tight enough. So when we get down here is where it's going to be a little iffy. We got our beads, we can sew, and now grab the beads and sort of pull them down the string a little bit, lay that on top, and tie in the mono. So do a couple of wraps before you let go, because the last thing you want right now is to have to do these beads again. And I wasn't gonna bore you guys with it, because trust me, adding these beads to the to the string was boring. But that's a part of it. So tie that in pretty good. Bring your thread up again to the eye of the hook. And again here, I'll smack down a whip finish, just so we don't get all tangled. If you feel this is all secure, cut down your mono. Now we got this thing attached, as you can see. Now when I start spinning this thing, it wants to start spinning around again. So you could lay a little bit of a UV blob on here, just to make it stick a little better and not move around. Voila. And then grab the beads and just make your way slowly. That's what you don't want to happen. Well, I'm gonna leave that in there so you guys don't make the same mistake. So I simply did not attach my my mono enough. Some people like to use braided line for this, and that's probably a better idea if you're feeling like that. I just don't feel like I can twist a braided line and get it to stick as well, but that's probably to each their own. So I'm gonna try this time not to lose the line. That would be nice. So let's see where we're at here. I'm gonna go bananas and just wrap it. Go around with that. No, wrap that too. All right. That should not be going anywhere. All right. Whoops. So it's gonna be a little bulkier maybe than I want it, since the many wraps, but we should be fine. Whoopsie. So let's start the spinning here. So just basically wrap, and this can be a little funky because it wants to slide on you all the time. So just go slow. And it doesn't have to be super tight on the wraps, because here in a minute we can kind of bob them around a little bit. And I say with this size, you're going maybe 3 or 4 wraps, and that's it. Now here comes the next sort of tricky part. So here we go. Now we gotta, lock that up real good. So find the same bead to go through with your thread and pull that down. And I do 3, 4, 5 times through the same bead and around. Now I take that back and I hold the beads so we don't spin. Because now if I let go, this thing wants to untangle itself. So what I do now is I will take my wrap again, my thread again, and I'll go over it and wrap into the fly. And basically just wrap a bunch between all the beads. This makes it all a little sturdier, and it makes it not move around. So when you're done that for a little while, Go there. I kind of press it together. Now, here comes the messy part that your wife or husband is not gonna like, whoever vacuums. You find this and you cut it somewhere, cut the end. Sorry, honey. Oh, it's only one. And now you got this line sticking out here. Don't trim that yet. Now where we're at is, again, you can basically not wrap too many times. Just wrap it down. And that's it. Now go up with finish. And like so. Cut that. Now what I like to do here is just color the, if there's a little bit of the green that comes through, color it brown. Up in the front, just like that, brown or black, just to make it match, or even purple. Then we take the UV and just kind of fill it in, like dab it on there. And now let it sit. And if you have a rotary vise, spin. So we get it sort of inside, not just laying on the outside here. Spin it a bit. Then push the beads together. UV light on there. And now I will trim that little piece that I have sitting right here after I wrapped it back. Boom. And add a little more glue to the lower part of the fly. Again, I like to spin it just so it kind of gets in between, and it makes it look more like a berry when you do it this way. And voila. There you got it. A little mulberry fly. Just like so. So, sorry about the mess up, but now at least you guys know what not to do and what to do. So please like and subscribe. I really appreciate you guys watching, and can't wait for spring so we can get out there, catch some more carp. At least where I live, it's about 30 inches of snow outside right now, so there's no carp fishing for me. I'm a little jealous of you guys down south that can still go at them. So anyways, see you guys in the next one. Bye.